1978 Ford Bronco on a Crown Vic chassis, the BroncoVic. I'm really jazzed about this. I want to get it going. So there's a couple, 3 items that are always hurdles for whoever's doing a Crown Vic swap. I don't care if you've done none of them or if you've done 50. You have to cross these bridges. The first one is the steering column. If you're using the Crown Vic column, or if you're using the column that originally came into whatever vehicle you're swapping, you've got to figure out a way to mount it. Typically, you can't use the original mounting either way because the surroundings of the column aren't what they were when Ford engineered it. So you got to come up with some way to mount it. The second hurdle is typically the wiring. Once you get the car, truck, whatever you're swapping on it done physically, and you start to lean out this wire harness, people are really hesitant to cut stuff. It's not, I mean, you got to remember there's a separation between engine management and transmission and the vehicle itself. Unless you're trying to utilize everything like the power windows, the power door locks, you know, the radio, the air conditioning, all that stuff, you got free reign to gut that stuff. You don't need it, especially if you're going to put a fuse panel, an additional fuse panel in the truck. You know, even if you terminate the wires like we did, you can still go in there and remember where your power door locks were, the windows. You've got key on now because the window doesn't have power when the key's off. The door locks do. So you got, you know, you can choose to keep that stuff. You can choose to get rid of it. You don't really need all of it though. And don't be hesitant to cut it because you don't have to have it. The last one is wheel and tire selection. Typically hard to run a 15-inch wheel on these Crown Vic deals just because of the size of the brake calipers in the front and the width of the front end gets you into the fenders typically of whatever you're swapping. I have that luxury on the Bronco because I plan to flare the fenders in some capacity from the start. So how wide it got, I didn't really care. That gives me the ability to get outside of that caliper with that wheel spacer for the 15-inch wheel. Probably juggle caliper sizes and do some research, and you could probably find the caliper set that would go on these spindles and change the rotor size and still have disc brakes and run 15-inch wheels. It's just not something I'm into researching and doing. You know, we do Crown Vic swap. Typically it's just for fun. It's for the YouTube channel, and it's a break from vehicles that you can't have fun with really all the time. You've seen what we've done to this so far. It's a bit, and it's going to be cool, but at the end of the day, it's a stress release and a bit. I've got something rubbing. There's something rubbing. I don't know if it's in the body or in this wheel and tire bamboozlement that I've got going on. Whatever it is, it didn't do it the second the Bronco pulled out, so that's what makes me think it's probably just in the body, you know, the back end. Today's focus is that steering column. I really feel like I've got an idea that might work, so hang out and let's see if we can make this work. Who knows, maybe we end up with a kit that we can sell. Heaven forbid this thing's actually profitable. Okay. So mount it high if you have to, make a choice. So maybe like here. Oh my gosh. Just get off of there. This thing. Annoying as all get out. And as much as this is probably needed in the truck, I think I'm gonna cut it out or get it out. I could probably just break the welds off, to be honest with you. See? Unplug this harness, I think. Get it at least over here out of the way. Always unplug the battery when I'm doing something like this, just in case. You don't want to short some stupid thing out. It's kind of these hard plastic things for the corners in the Crown Vic. Cut that stuff out of your way. You're gonna hate life because it makes it do turns that you don't need in the truck. This is the Ford bracket I pulled out earlier, broke loose from here. I'm gonna turn it upside down, invert it. It's almost the same width as the Crown Vic bracket. Bend this out, drill holes in it, it should bolt right to that. It's already beaded. So this one's pretty straight, so the bend can be straight, but I don't need to bend both sides at the same point. Okay, that'll work. A little test fit. Well, it's awful close. You know, because we're a big time monetized channel now, you know? So. So I found these bolts on the side, on each side of the column. There's one here, and then there's one here. Figure something out here. I think this is the longer one. Okay, so I just took a quick break to make these patch panels. Sometimes when you're working, you need a different shot. You need a change of pace. Nothing super technical. I'm just making little pieces to finish the transition on the Crown Vic firewall to the Bronco one. Finishing up all the seams, getting to the door jambs. That way, when I go to make the floors, I can start with the actual entry, the step in, because the frame of the Crown Vic does step up compared to where the Bronco sit. I'll do that piece, and then I can put the original floors back in it. Just stitch welding these things. Seam sealer is going to be the go-to here, obviously. Nothing special. Just I wanted a mental break. This is something I can do without thought at this point. Getting to the other stuff. Mounted the emergency brake setup. Kind of happy with that. Some spacers using the mounting points from the Crown Vic. The orange wire is the wire that goes to the airbag module. We don't need anymore. The rest of this stuff is to the two doors that were on the driver's side of the Crown Vic. This one is the fuel pump and the fuel pump control module, so you definitely need that. So what I'm gonna do is sever it. I'm gonna inline that. I'm gonna peel this apart and see which way so this is the plug I don't know if I need or not. So I'm gonna follow these back and see which way they go. So here's the side that we cut off that used to go to the passenger side stuff. It's in this master loom. It comes across the dash to the other side that we cut off. I don't know if you can see that or not. So what I'm gonna do is while this is off, I'm gonna strip all this and show you how much of that you can continue to move out. See that flexing in the back? That's where your issues always are. It's back here. It's this support. And the reason is because, you know, the truck goes all the way through typically and it mounts to the frame rail, the gearbox itself. The Crown Vic mounts to the dash and it's supported there. And this was never meant to be like in the situation. It's always in a swap. This is, you got flex in the dash. That's not sturdy enough to support something. So I went next door and found what looks like a motorcycle exhaust. We'll call it not quad 1 3/4 OD, but it's got these flanges on it from the motorcycle. I think if I cut that inside that flange where that's flat, I can actually even use that to mount it to the sides of the Bronco. This flange will go right there, spin it to however angle you want it. This is going to be amazing. All right. Yeah, I got almost 1 inch too much. We'll weld it together and then cut it off. I'm just super smoked, to be honest with you. I like the look of it though, and we can definitely add face panels. When you glance in there, especially if all I end up with is a dash pad, it's gonna look pretty gangster. It's got a real mechanical vibe to it. Thanks for watching. Go to mudcustoms.com, buy a t-shirt, stickers.